The arrow in Prince Henry's head. Ouch. Welcome back to another episode of Connerly's Chronicles. Today we discuss one of the most wild medical stories from the medieval era, the time John Bradford saved Prince Henry's life by pulling an arrow out of his head. I love context, let's talk about some. In 1403, King Henry IV waged a battle against a group of English rebels at Shrewsbury. His son, Prince Henry, later King Henry V, led the left flank of his father's army at the age of 16. Side note, this Henry isn't the one with 6 wives we talked about earlier, in case there was any confusion. Here's Timothée Chalamet playing Prince Henry in The King to give you some visual distinction. Good film, by the way, maybe it'll get its own video soon. Well, Prince Henry is leading these men when he gets attacked by the Cheshire longbowmen. Prince Henry is struck by an arrow that likely deflected off of the armor of one of his men. It lodged itself through his cheekbone and went all the way into the back of his skull, barely missing his brain. With the battle over and the rebels defeated, the royal court physicians removed the shaft of the arrow from Henry's face, but the bodkin, the arrowhead, was still lodged in his skull. The court doctors had no idea what to do. They were making potions and trying to use magical charms and prayers, while the only heir to the throne barely clings to life in a very painful way. The king calls for the coolest man the medieval era ever produced, John Bradmore, the finest surgeon in England. He was actually in prison at the time, but the king freed him to come save his son. This man was easily 600 years ahead of his time. He treated the wound with honey, which is a natural antibiotic. Antibiotics as we know them wouldn't be invented until 1928, by the way. Then this absolute Chad invented a pair of tongs made of silver that slotted into the bottom of the arrowhead and screwed to expand so that he could remove the arrowhead from the backside. Those tongs were made of silver, by the way, because silver is also antimicrobial. This dude was big brain. He worked the arrowhead out, kept the wound from being infected, and saved the future king. He was a genius, and I wish more people knew about him. Now you do. Are you interested in medical history? Have you heard this story before? Does it make you think of a similar story? Have you ever been struck in the head with an arrow? Let me know, and thank you for exploring with me the story of